This seems like it's gonna take a while, so let's see if making refried beans in your Instant Pot is worth it. So I have a ton of recipes that I am looking forward to making in my Instant Pot, and one of those that I have just been pushing off because it's so much easier to just buy a can of refried beans, but I really wanted to make fresh homemade refried beans in my Instant Pot. So I've got all the ingredients, but the recipe that I'm using, which will be linked down below, it does say that it takes quite a bit of time. So I am actually going to count everything and let you guys know exactly how long each step takes. Because as you know, or if you don't know, when using a pressure cooker, the time that it says that it takes to cook, you also have to take into consideration the Instant Pot coming to pressure, and depending on what kind of release you're doing. If you're doing an instant release, it doesn't take that long, maybe 2 to 3 minutes max, by pressing that button or the nozzle and letting the steam come out. But if you do a natural release, it really depends on what you're cooking, and that can take a long time as well. So let's get into making refried beans in the Instant Pot and see how time consuming it really is. All right, let's make some refried beans. So this is everything that I am using. In this bowl, I already have 2 pounds of dried pinto beans. I sorted them and they are just soaking. So this recipe is not one where you have to soak your beans overnight. These have been sitting in here for about 10 minutes while I got everything else all together. Probably the recipe that I'm gonna have in the description says 15 minutes, but by the time I get them in the pot, it'll be 15 minutes. So this is 2 pounds of the dried pinto beans, and then I have 1.5 cups of chopped onion here. I'm going to use 4 to 5 garlic cloves. I'm gonna use 4 because I don't want it to have too strong of a garlic taste, and I always just have this minced garlic on hand. So I think it's like half a teaspoon is 1 clove. On this, so I'll use 4 of those. 1 jalapeno that I have already seeded and chopped. I'm gonna be using 2 teaspoons of ground oregano, 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of just good old black pepper. Over here I have 3 tablespoons of vegetable shortening, which is Crisco. That's the kind that I always buy. 4 cups of chicken broth. Each of these cans is about 2 cups, so I've got 2 cups here. And then an additional 4 cups of water. At the very end, you'll just add a little salt to taste. So right now, I've got my Instant Pot. It's plugged in. I am going to add everything but the pinto beans and the salt into the pot. So the Crisco, the jalapeno, the onion, all the seasonings, the chicken broth, the water, and the minced garlic. All right, all of the ingredients are in here except for the beans and the salt. It's okay that your Crisco or shortening is still like lumpy because the Instant Pot will take care of that. So I have already drained my pinto beans and then I rinse them with some cold water. So I'm gonna add the beans to my pot, and then I'm just gonna mix it all together. All right, so this time I'm actually gonna tell you guys all the times, so just so you really realize that just because you're using an Instant Pot doesn't mean it's saving you time. It's just the time saving method means you can leave it and it's doing everything for you. There's no standing over the stove or anything like that. This allows you to make things earlier, all that good stuff. So I wanted to tell you guys all of the times. You're gonna close your lid, make sure that the nozzle is sealing and not venting, and then you're gonna hit the bean chili button. It should say 30 minutes. I'm actually gonna up that to 45. And then I'm gonna let it come to pressure. I'm gonna time it, see how long it takes to come to pressure, let you guys know that time. Then the 45 minutes will start, and then we're gonna do a natural release, and I'll let you guys know how long the natural release takes. So it's on, that means it's coming to pressure. I'm gonna start my timer, and then the 45 minutes will start, and then like I said, we'll do a natural release. Okay, 45 minutes is up, And if you guys do not know what natural release means, that'll stop beeping in a second. There we go. So instead of releasing the pressure manually, so if I wanted to release the pressure, I would turn my knob or my nozzle to venting. I know you guys can't see that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let the pressure release naturally. It automatically goes to warm and it will count down for me. So I'll just keep an eye on it and it'll count down for me. So all I'm waiting for is that to drop, and that means the pressure is released. It did take 20 minutes to come to pressure. So it's been a little over an hour. The 20 minutes coming to pressure, and then the beans themselves cooking for 45 minutes. So now we'll see how long it takes for the pressure to release on its own. 44 minutes, you guys. I don't know, these refried beans better be worth it, but I wanted to show you guys the whole process. So it took 44 minutes for the pressure to release all on its own naturally. I did go ahead and press it to venting just to make sure that nothing else was in it. So let's open it up. I gotta say, it does smell really, really good. All right, there we go. Now, another thing that the recipe that I'm using says to do is use an immersion blender. I don't have an immersion blender. I'm gonna use a hand mixer. If the hand mixer really doesn't work, then I'll put it into my Ninja. But I like refried beans that aren't completely smooth. I still like little chunks of beans in them. So I'm hoping that this will work. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a spoon, stir this up, and then use my good old hand mixer, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, you guys, I have to be honest, even though this took a really long time, it tastes really good. Like, I still can't get over the smell. So good. Now, it is a little bit on the runny side, but it's already thickened up. So I know as it cools, it's really going to start thickening up and be more of the consistency that I would like it to be. So this is definitely a thumbs up in my book, as long as I have time to make it. All right, there you have it. What do you guys think? They turned out really good. The flavor is amazing. And just a little side note, if you guys didn't want to make refried beans, just don't mash them up. Don't use an immersion blender, don't use a blender. Then you have good old pinto beans with a little bit of extra liquid, but they still taste really, really good. I love the flavor. The smell is amazing. I don't know, no, I do know. I won't be making refried beans like this every time because it does take a lot of time. I would have to plan for it, but the taste is definitely there. I prefer this much more than a good old or a plain old can of refried beans. And by making things homemade, you know what's going into it, you know it's a little bit better for you, so you really have to pick and choose, and it's up to you guys. But I wanted to show you guys the whole process, the entire time that it took, and all that good stuff. So if you like these kinds of videos, give this video a big thumbs up, because I am going to be sharing a lot of Instant Pot videos in the future, along with some crock pot ones as well. So if you guys own a crock pot and you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and join me here on my channel. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.